Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X research and professional physicist. And today I'd like to bring to you another one of my articles. This one's entitled Planet X Observations. The Electrical Universe is Made of Light. Now, according to mainstream physics, energy is an abstract concept used to understand change in the universe. But Planet X observations reveal over and over again that the universe is all about energy. Planet X system stellar cores, the energy-depleted core systems of the Planet X star systems, which were destroyed due to energy depletion, come into the solar system to absorb energy. Energy flows from the sun's or the Earth's core system to the stellar cores. So again, these objects reveal that energy and the transfer of energy is what the universe is all about. And you may look at Article 785 entitled Planet X is here, but what is it exactly for more details? And here you can see one of these Planet X system stellar cores making a physical connection with the sun, through which it is absorbing energy from the sun. And the sun contains inside its body a core system made up of objects like the stellar core we see here, but the ones inside the sun are fully energized. Now, the second law of thermodynamics has been shown by Planet X observations to be the most fundamental of concepts regarding all processes in the universe. This law states that all systems will tend to reach a state of equilibrium, and this is what is observed. This is the reason why energy flows from one point to another, in other words, in order to establish equilibrium. This is the reason why energy flows from the sun's core system to a stellar core. The stellar core is energy depleted and the sun is not, so energy flows from one to the other. But what is energy exactly? We can see what energy is when we observe that the absorption of light by a material leads to an energy increase, which manifests as a temperature increase. In other words, energy is light. This light is made of photons. Photons are the tiniest particle ever encountered. A 100-watt light bulb emits 2 times 10 to the 20 every second. That is 200 quintillion photons every second. The light emitted by this light bulb is made of free photons, which travel at the speed of light. They are free because they do not deviate from their path until they are absorbed by matter. In addition, there are always so many photons moving together that it is like a fluid flowing through space. Thus, light is a fluid. Now, just as heat flows from a hot to a cold object, energy flows from the sun's core to a stellar core. And this is what this diagram is illustrated. If you have a hot object and if you have a cold object, and they are connected, then energy will flow from the hot to the cold. Well, the sun's core system is high in energy, and the stellar core systems, the Planet X core systems, or the Planet X system stellar cores, are low in energy. They're like a cold object, and the sun as a hot object, then that causes energy to flow from the hot, the sun's core system, to the stellar cores. But photons can also be absorbed by matter, which shows that photons can exist as stationary particles. Thus, light can become a part of matter. But it turns out that there is more to it than that, because stellar cores create matter with energy, in other words, light. And you may look at Article 695 entitled Planet X Creates Water. It started at the flood for more details. In other words, stellar cores and the core systems inside all planets and stars transform light into matter, which shows that matter is made of light. Thus, the whole universe is made of light. Whether we think of the universe and its process in terms of energy or in terms of matter, it is all made of light. Atoms are made of fluid, a malleable material or plasma, in other words, a photon fluid. And you can see that from these electron microscope images. And here you can see that atoms seem to have a regular shape. almost look like little spheres here. But they are not actually solid. They are made of light and can flow, and are thus made of liquid plasma. And so here, atoms look like blobs of plasma in both these images. But this image on the far right here is at a higher magnification, and we can see a swirling flow of material. You can see the connections between the atoms here, connecting atoms. And the fact that there is the swirling structure there shows that this is actually a plasma. It's a liquid or a fluid. It's a photon fluid. It's like a thick plasma, somewhat like magma, which can be quite thick. And the material can actually flow between the two atoms. They're not just solid objects. It's made out of a plasma or the photon fluid. Now, energy transfers across a transparent medium as a photon fluid current, and within matter as a photon fluid current as well. But within matter, this transfer can manifest as heat flow or an electric current. The electric current manifests at the point at which the drawing object is located. In other words, a meteor draws a current from the Earth's core, but it only manifests at its location, not in between. And you may look at Article 779 entitled Meteors or Planet X Debris Glow is Due to Electric Current. And you can see a meteor streaking across the sky. Now, in the same way, a resistor in a circuit draws the current at its location only. This is why current is not drawn by an object that has zero electric resistance, in other words, an insulator. This is also why when you flick a light switch, the light goes on immediately. The energy, which is light, transfers through the circuit at the speed of light, and the current was drawn at the light bulb location almost immediately. There were no electrons moving through the circuit at all, only photons which take the form of electrons at the light bulb location only, in order to transfer energy to the light bulb. Energy is transferred to the light bulb because it has capacity to absorb energy, which is described as resistance. But energy is transferred to the light bulb because it has a capacity to draw energy. And thus the word resistance describes an opposing concept. Energy flows to the light bulb because it draws energy rather than resists. This is simply another example of how the educational system has been formulated to impede understanding of how the universe really works. And here you can see a circuit. And this is a very simple circuit. It's simply a battery. And there's a wire connecting the positive terminal to the negative terminal of the battery. And we all know what that will cause. That will cause the battery to become discharged. Because energy will tend to flow from where there is energy, which is the positive terminal, to where there is a depletion of energy. There's too little energy. So if a pathway is provided, then equilibrium tends to be reached, which means that energy flows across from one side of the battery to the other, thus slowly discharging the battery. But even if no wire is connected, we know that the battery gradually discharges because its energy, which is light, flows through the air, but at a slower rate. And that is most likely because the lower density of the air provides less pathways for the energy to travel through. And here on the right, what we have is the same electrical circuit, the same battery, but now we have two additional light bulbs. And what happens is when we connect the light bulbs to the circuit, is now they draw energy from the battery. Actually, energy is flowing across, but it manifests as an electrical current now, which causes the light bulbs to light up. In other words, and it is according to the light bulb's capacity to absorb energy. So 100-watt light bulbs will draw more of this energy that's flowing across as an electrical current than a light bulb that only has a rating of 5 watts. So meteors inside the Earth's atmosphere work in exactly the same way. They draw an electric current at their location within the atmosphere because there is energy continuously transferring across all the matter that makes up the Earth, including its atmosphere. Comets also draw a current whenever they come into the solar system at their location within the sun's heliosphere, which is the most tenuous of the sun's atmosphere, going out to 100 AU. Because there is energy or photons continuously transferring across all the matter that makes up the solar system. And you can see a comet inside the solar system, and it draws a huge current from the sun's core at its location in the solar system due to energy, in other words, photons, continuously flowing across the sun's tenuous atmosphere throughout the solar system. The appearance of such an electric current indicates that the universe is electrical in nature. But since this occurs because photons are transformed into electrons in these instances, the universe is still a light universe that sometimes manifests as an electrical universe. So, in conclusion, the whole universe is made of light or photons, and all processes are due to the transfer of photons, which we call energy. Comets and meteors glow and have tails because they have a capacity to absorb energy. In other words, they are made of energy-depleted matter, and thus a part of the Planet X systems coming into the solar system. The energy which Planet X matter draws manifests as an electric current at their location within the solar system. And these are the references. This is Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X physicist. Thank you for watching.